Chapter 2. When Jordan and Amy walked into Iridia, it almost felt like they walked into a ghost town. No one was in sight. It was very silent, and they almost felt like they didn't belong where they were at. Nevertheless, they knew why they came to Iridia. They wanted to find the Sapphire Desire and use the wish on the treasure to become rich. "Where shall we start first?" Jordan asked his sister. "Let's begin with the closest, largest building," Amy suggested. "If it's not there, we may be able to find other treasure that would still help us become wealthy." The closest building to Jordan and Amy took only 10 minutes to locate. When they entered, they saw it was a library. Virtually every wall was covered with bookshelves from top to bottom. Not a single bookshelf had one book vacant. One could spend a lifetime reading every book in this library. "I don't think we'll find much here," Jordan said. "I can't imagine finding anything valuable in a building full of books." "Knowledge may not be of monetary worth, but it can still be beneficial," Amy said. "Perhaps one of these books can give us more information about Iridia. The more we know about this place, the better we'll be." Amy took a book off the nearest bookshelf to her and opened it. When she opened it, she was shocked by what she immediately saw. The language of the book was written in an ancient language. The characters of the language could not be read by her. "Hey Jordan, can you read what this book is trying to say?" Amy requested. Jordan took the book from Amy, but even he was unable to decipher the ancient language that was written. "I cannot read a language I do not know," Jordan said. "Maybe we should try looking for books written in our language." Jordan and Amy searched for about an hour trying to find a book that was written in their language. Every attempt to find a book that was not written in the ancient language proved to be fruitless. All of the books in the library were written in the ancient language. "We might as well give up," Amy said. "If I had known these people spoke a different language hundreds of years ago, I would have taken the time to learn the language before we left Ward so we could read these books." "So what's the next plan?" Jordan asked. "We searched the next building," Amy replied. "I'm sure we'll find something that's not written in an ancient language. We obviously can't take any of these books with us if we don't know anyone who knows the language. Books contain information, but without the knowledge to read them, the information on the pages remains locked. Besides, who in Ward would want to read a book they don't understand?" They stepped outside of the library and started their path towards the next large building. After about a minute of walking, they heard the sound of 2 swords being unsheathed. It clearly was not Jordan unsheathing his sword. Both Jordan and Amy turned to the noise to the left. They saw a man who stood somewhat taller than Jordan. He had long blonde hair and blue eyes. He was shirtless and had scars all over his arms, showing that he had been in many sword fights throughout his life and survived them all. "You two are not welcome in this kingdom," the man said. "Who are you to tell us that we're not welcome?" Jordan spoke back. "Unless you're the king of this place, you're no different than anyone else. This ancient kingdom was destroyed by outsiders," the man told Jordan and Amy. "It was outsiders seeking a treasure that did not belong to them that caused this once proud kingdom to fall. I shall not permit anyone to destroy what is left of here. Leave and never come back." "Wait just a minute," Amy negotiated. "We're on a quest to find out if a certain treasure exists or not. Once we find it and see it, we'll be more than happy to get out of here." "No," the man replied. "You shall not take the Sapphire Desire away from Iridia. I shall injure you to the point where you will not be able to continue your pillaging. Prepare to experience unbearable pain." "Looks like we have a fight against one of the raiders we heard about," Jordan said to Amy as he unsheathed his sword. "Be on your guard," Amy said to Jordan, getting into her battle position with her spear. "If this man can fight with 2 swords, he's definitely dangerous. Keep an eye on both his arms at all times." It was wise counsel that Amy spoke as both she and Jordan begun their battle against the raider. The raider moved his arms swiftly when swinging and slashing his swords at Jordan and Amy. For a while, Jordan and Amy were forced to parry all the attacks the raider threw at them. When they did try to counterattack, the raider would quickly defend the attacks. It was difficult for Jordan and Amy to get any offense off of the raider. "You're wasting your time fighting me," the raider said as he was fighting Jordan and Amy. "If you had listened to me, you'd know I am not a pushover when outnumbered." Don't get too confident," Amy shouted back. "We're not pushovers either. You'll see." That remark caused the raider to focus his attacks on Amy more than Jordan. Amy was using her spear to block every attack thrown at her. Jordan saw an opportunity to strike during the time the raider was provoked towards Amy and attempted to attack on the raider's arms. One of his attacks got a hit off the right arm of the raider, causing him to drop one of his swords. This gave Amy an opportunity to counter the next attack that was thrown at her. After she deflected an attack intended for her head, she stabbed the raider in his left shoulder, causing him to drop the other sword. The raider was clearly in pain as Amy pulled her spear out of the raider's shoulder. "Had enough?" Amy asked as she and Jordan backed off a short distance, anticipating another attack. "You'll regret coming here," the raider replied in pain as he picked up his swords and put them back in his sheaths. "Your victory over me means nothing. I'll let both of you go for now. You better hope you've left Iridia by the time my wounds are healed." The raider ran off. Jordan and Amy chose not to chase after him, but rather put their weapons away. "That was strange," Jordan said. "I didn't expect a raider to act like he was trying to protect these ruins. You'd think they would try to steal all the treasure here." "This is an interesting twist," Amy said. "I'd like to know what his motivation was for attacking us. He didn't say he'd kill us, but he said he'd injure us to the point where we wouldn't be able to continue." "Looks like we got a lot more to find out here than if the Sapphire Desire exists or not," Jordan said. "If we meet up with him again, we'll be sure to ask him. We may run into other raiders with the same mindset," Amy said. "If we do, I'm sure they'll tell us why they're doing what they're doing. To be honest, I questioned them being called raiders if they weren't trying to kill the both of us." With that said, Jordan and Amy continued onward toward the next large building they were traveling to.